guys, and welcome back to my channel, Keeping Up with Kels. Today's video is a story time on when I got in a car accident with somebody I was not supposed to be with. Basically, I was with my ex. This boy, I met him like in May of 2019. Yeah, it was May. It was like, yeah, it was the last week of May. I met him. I was at a party because like my alternative school had prom, but it wasn't really like a prom. Like if you was graduating or like if you had a job in the school, then it was called like a school dance like the end of the year dance or something like that. But basically, if you was graduating, this was your prom, like, feel me? So we went or whatever, and then it was an after party because everybody having proms around them time. So it was a prom after party or whatever somewhere. We went to one in Bushwick, and we had the party or whatever. And my friend at the time, from my like I went to school with her. She like, oh, my brother about to pull up, my bro about to pull up. He pulled up, and like he came with his like two of his friends or whatever. So like from that night, we faked like we ain't like she introduced us to each other or whatever. And then, like, he added me on Snap. He took my IG. He took my number or whatever. And we started texting from there. But then, like, when he was leaving, like, I was dancing. Long story short, I was dancing. And, like, he came behind me. So I danced with him or whatever. And then he was about to leave. This was, like, 30 minutes after. He seen me dancing on my friend, like, because she's sitting down and I'm dancing on her. So he was like, yo, do me a favor. He was talking to my friend. He was like, do me a favor. Because it was like 6 of us. He was like, do me a favor, get up real quick. Let me sit there. And he pulled me and then he made me dance with him. And like, from there we started texting. We was talking. He was like, oh, let me take you home. I'm like, for me, it's a group of us. We all here. If you offer to take me home, you know, it's mad of us. You want to have to take us all home, or you want to have to drop us off or somewhere nearby. So we like, for me, he was like, I don't even have space for all y'all. So he left. So yeah, he was like, I don't even got space for all y'all right now. So he left, and we continued to party. It was like 1 in the morning. It was still early, so I mean, he left. We partying or whatever. My friend, she gets so drunk. We decide that we're gonna leave. We leave. We texting. And I forgot what happened. I think, oh yeah, we went to the hookah lounge like a few days later, and my friend invited him. So he came, and from that day, we was linking on our own time. He'd come pick me up. We go to his house. We chill. We smoke. For me, regular. For me, we was talking. Like, that was my little honey boo. Then, like, we started dating. We was fucking each other for a few months. We broke up, stopped talking to him. Then he was like off and on, like, for me. But, like, we would be off for a while, and then back on, and then off for a while, and then back on. Stuff like that, like, for me. So, further down the line, we just became friends. Like, it was just like, we'd text. Like, we didn't really see each other that much no more. Like, we'd text or whatever, and that would basically be it. Like, we was just texting each other. For me, checking in on each other. And one day, he texted me. And he was like, what you doing? I said, I'm not doing nothing. And he was like, oh. Then he FaceTimed me. He said, where you at? I said, I'm home. He was like, send me your address. I'm like, for what? He said, I just got my car. Let's go driving. I'm about to go drive around. I'm like, where we going? He said, nowhere in particular. We're just about to drive around. Feel me? I'm like, all right, whatever. Cool. So I sent him my address. But before I sent him my address, I was with my friend. Well, she was with her friend. They went to the chicken spot. I told her, since you at the chicken spot and you live around the corner, buy me some food and come drop it off, because they was driving as well. So she came. She was here for a little bit. When she got here, he was outside. So we left together. We left out together. And, like, so now I'm with him. We driving around. We driving. He's speeding now. So, like, I'm that type of friend. Like, I really don't like being in, like, scary situations. Like, for me, I was scared. Like, I get scared when people are speeding. I get scared when people start running lights. I get scared when cars start getting too close to each other and stuff like that. Like, I get scared easy. Like, feel me? And this is all before the car accident. Like, so we in the car and he's speeding. And I'm like, slow down. You doing too much. Like, I don't like shit like that. Like, calm down. Feel me? He slows down. And now we talking. We chopping it up. We catching up or whatever. He was like, He said, when he was speeding though, I put my seatbelt on. So he was like, oh, you scared? Something like that. I'm like, yeah, like, you speeding. So he like, how many times you been in a car with me and me never crashed before? I said, it's like the second time we've been in a car together, feel me? I don't really, feel me? I ain't really too sure about that. So he was like, I should crash the car with me and you in it. Like, he was making a little joke, and he was like, I should crash the car with me and you in it so you could call your forever nigga, your forever boy, or your forever nigga, or whatever, and tell him that me and you were in a car accident together, whatever. So I'm like, what? Don't say that. Like, don't joke like that, feel me? He was like, I'm joking, whatever. So now he keep driving, he starts speeding again. And, like, we get to this place, like, it's this place in Brooklyn where it's like a bus stop and a train station in one. So, like, it's like a shuttle. I don't know how to explain. Like, I don't know, like a bus house. Like, I don't know what you call it, where the buses go when it's the last stop. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 different, like, buses. And that area, that train station stop, whatever, is the last stop for all of them. So, it's like a little shuttle place right there for them, whatever. So it's like it's a lot more traffic lights than regular. So he's driving, and he's in like, we on the same street, but it's like 2 lights back to back from each other. They're like 10 feet away from each other. So he's speeding. He drove through the first one, and I'm like, yo, stop, you wildin'. So he stopped. By the time he stopped, I look to my right, and I see a car. But I didn't realize the way we was at. Like, the way we was positioned is just like, we're in the middle of the 2 traffic lights, but we're also in the middle of a lane. So he driving, stop, I look, I see the car, and the car is speeding, lights off. So I didn't, like, you know, when the lights is off, you don't really know, like, feel me, until it's too late. He's speeding, coming. I turn my head, I'm looking. By the time I turned back straight, the car came and says, mind you, we're parked. This is what I'm trying to show you. We were parked. The car came and said, smack. And now we're spinning. We was spinning. It's so crazy. We was spinning so bad. Like, the car was facing the traffic light. We was the other way, a little bit down the block. Like, it spun around so much and it stopped down the block type shit. But it was just so scary. Like, before the accident, he was playing around and doing crazy shit. Then we actually did get into the accident. So, you know, like, that was scary. But what was even scarier about it is the car hit us so hard that the fact that he wasn't wearing his seatbelt, he flew out his seat. And he was on my lap. So I think that's why the car kept spinning so much as well. Because he was on my lap. Like, he wasn't controlling the car. So now it was just doing whatever it wanted to do. And we hopped out the car. First of all, the airbags deployed. I did not know that smelled like that. Like, females, if you ever bleached your hair before, or like bleached the knots on your wig or something, like if you ever used hair bleach before, that is what the airbags smelled like. It smelled like burnt, hot hair bleach. Like, it was like I was in there coughing and mad. Like, I don't know what it was. Dust, smoke, whatever came flying out. Airbag slapped me in my face. I'm just like, We hopped out the car, the whole right side of the car. Like I said, because the passenger side got hit, not the driver's side. The whole right side of the car is messed up. It's just like dented in. It was so real. The door was closed. Like, my door was jammed shut, so I had to get out through the driver's seat. But back to what I was saying, he was on my lap and he almost died. Like, I told him, I said, God forbid, if you was by yourself and this car had hit you, you probably would have went through the windshield, or you would have died. Like, because, like, he was about to fly through the windshield, like, and I grabbed him. He ended up on my lap. This is why they say wear seatbelts. You must wear seatbelts, because it's just like, you never know. People be like, oh, I'm a good driver, I know what I'm doing. Okay, you know what you're doing, but just like that, he didn't have his lights on. And all 3 of us could have died, because he went after he hit the car, because he was speeding, like I said. So if you hit a car and you speeding, you still, for me, you gonna go into something. He ended up into a hole, like a whole hole. And I was just like, wow, that was crazy. I was so scared. But yeah, I was so scared. Like, I hopped out the car. he was so mad. He hopped out the car. He punched his car. He was kicking the car. He was mad. Like, he was going ballistics. And I'm just like, you mad, and I'm just so happy that we're alive. Like, it's just two completely different reactions right now. Like, he called me a cab. He sent me home. He was like, go home. Feel me? I went home. I didn't even go home because I was just like, in my head, I was just so petrified. Like, I'm like, nah, I gotta go to my friend's house and talk about this. So I went to my friend's house. She lived around the corner, like I said. Went to her house, and I'm just sitting there. She like, yo, like, how did all that happen so quick? Because it literally happened within like 10 minutes of me leaving my house. Within that 10-minute frame that happened. And this is why I'm saying, yo, I really was not supposed to be with this boy. I was just supposed to leave him alone and let it be. Like, my house, I'm venting. Like, I was just so scared. I had PTSD. Up to this day, I still have PTSD. Like, when I get in my brother's car and he's driving, I be telling him, I be like, yo, slow down. I don't want to see nothing. Like, he be speeding, swerving in and out of cars next to big trucks and stuff. And I watch Final Destination. You ain't about to play with my life like that, okay? But, yeah, like, we got into a car accident. And, like, a few days after the car accident, he gonna text me, like, I got a renty. What's the word? My insurance gave me a renty. Da-da-da. Let me come get you. What? No. I never went. Feel me? He'll call me from time to time, checking on me. He'll make jokes about, like, oh, you dad saved my life. And for real, like, I really saved your life. Like, no cap. Feel me? But that's it for the story time. Oh, man, I got in a car accident with somebody I was not supposed to be with. If you like this story, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, all that fun stuff. Toodles.